Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I am joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Kayla, Audrey, and Gordon. Hello, everyone.
Hello, David.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. Happy November.
Ugh.
I think that's
Yes,
something
happy
people
fall,
say.
y'all.
Yeah,
What?
very much.
November. Oh, my hip. Oh, my hip.
Oh, the seasonal changes making your trick hip act up.
Wasn't it just Christmas yesterday? Why on earth? The speed. Oh, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
Well, so happy to have you all here today. And on today's show, we will cross a few items off of our TV bucket list, celebrate Movember with the best facial hair on TV, hang out with Army of Thieves star Matthias Schweighöfer, and explore the movies that unexpectedly blew our minds. And before we get started, make sure you grab your Xfinity voice remote to participate in our interactive game later in the show. And as always, we are going to kick things off with In the News. The Real Housewives are going international. Bravo and Andy Cohen have announced a new spin-off of the popular reality series entitled The Real Housewives of Dubai. The cast has yet to be announced, but the series is slated to premiere next year, and according to a press release, will showcase over-the-top opulence, jaw-dropping modern architecture, and a wild nightlife scene. Audrey, Kayla, I know you are both Housewives fans. Any thoughts on this new installment?
Go ahead, Kayla. Your
I'm
eyes are
excited.
twinkling.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this. Is it going to be kind of the same? Is it going to be completely different? I was listening to a YouTube video saying it's going to be the biggest franchise yet because it's the first international version. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. I know a lot of very wealthy people live in Dubai. So I've never been, but I've heard great things. So I'm looking forward to getting a peek inside of that city.
Yeah, I think we've seen like Beverly Hills wealth, but Dubai wealth seems to be like on a whole nother level. So I totally agree. I don't know what to expect, but I'm very excited for what's to come.
You
For
two
sure.
aren't in Dubai right now? Like, that's it's gorgeous. Like, I'm
Live
having a
from
blast.
Dubai.
That level of wealth that we have here in Dubai.
Audrey got her necklace from Dubai. You didn't know? It was like $1 million.
Yep.
This just makes me think of Sex and the City 2, which I believe took place in Dubai, and that movie was hot garbage. So I hope it's better than that was, because boy, was that bad.
It will be
Better than
great.
hot garbage.
Although, yeah, I don't know. Andy Cohen and SJP are BFFs, so maybe there will be some crossover action there. But
We'll
yeah,
see.
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really good.
Me too.
It's interesting because it's taken some, I think the franchise has taken some interesting turns in the sense that who would think of like Salt Lake City as a location or the Potomac as a location for this. If you guys could pick any city or region or location to set a new Housewives franchise, what would you pick?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I have two, and they're very different. Okay. So either Tulum, Mexico, for like all the taco and margarita eating and drinking I could do. And then on the flip side, I think Real Housewives of Reykjavik in Iceland would also be amazing for similar reasons of like Dubai, like the scenery would be stellar, all of the outdoor excursions. Like they always do little trips on these Housewives series. So the trips in Iceland would be awesome to watch. And I've been there and I know that it's amazing. So those would be my two picks, Mexico and Iceland.
Very cool.
Those are really
good
great choices, and it makes my choices sound really dumb. So I'm going to wait and talk about mine last. Kayla, what do you think?
Follow that, Kayla.
I know, right? Well, I had a few too because I couldn't choose, but one was Chicago because I just feel like the food scene there is amazing. And also I'd love to just see an entire winter in Chicago shot with Real Housewives. So So
Yeah,
I'd
that's
love to
good.
see that. And then as far as international, anywhere in the Caribbean, I think would be interesting to see. Like I'm talking Jamaica, Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. Like I want to see the island vibes. I want the real housewife island vibes for sure. That would be a good
That
addition,
would
I
be
think.
pretty cool. I would kind of like to
Yeah.
see what opulence in the Caribbean looks like. Like,
Right? Me too.
yeah, I love that.
See, they need to
Yeah.
make it. We need to pitch these things.
Gordon, do you have any ideas for where you would
I
set
do.
something?
I
Okay.
absolutely do. And I went a little bit of a different direction. Saturday Night Live did a skit, maybe a decade ago, where it was the princesses of Disney as the Real Housewives. And it was funny, but they were supposed to be the real princesses. My thought was, I went to college with a young woman who actually played Snow White at Disney World. And she would tell me about all of the behind the scenes trouble they would get into, like backbiting and like backstabbing and like all the politics that went into it. And it was fascinating. So my pick wouldn't be Real Housewives of Disney. It would be Real Housewives of Orlando, but cast all of the people that actually play the princesses and see what really goes on behind the scenes. I just always found that story fascinating. So Real Housewives of Orlando is my choice.
Wow, that's
Oh,
good too.
Gordon-
Everyone's are really
That
good.
is.
We came to play.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
David has
See,
Disney
David, you should have
thoughts.
went after me.
I know. All of Sam,
David's gonna
Gordon,
be
you
like,
know.
and mine was Real Housewives Dubuque. No offense to Dubuque. We love you, Dubuque. You know that.
So, Real Housewives of Minneapolis, Green Bay. Something really way up there in the Great Lakes areas. Gordon, yeah, you know that I have a history with Disney, as I used to work in Disney World as well, and you're 100% right. I always found that it was more that the princesses very much looked down upon everyone else who was not a princess. I mean, I know there was rivalries, but it was like they sat together, and it was the interesting thing where like they would be made up just from the head up and wear Disney issued gray sweatsuits while they were like around, but they would be in full wig and makeup. And Disney actually had these sweatsuits. They were gray. They were handed out as like part of your costume. And they would like go and have lunch at the Mouseketeria, sit together at a table, but just like not even make eye contact with like the guy who runs the like Dumbo ride or whatever, because they were so below the princesses. Like,
Oh my
they were not nice. So,
David,
anyway.
did
they
you
know
run
it
the
was
Dumbo ride? Is that
pretend?
why?
Right.
No, yeah, I didn't. You know what I did? I drove trams to the Magic Kingdom parking lot. I was low caste in the world of Disney employees. I wasn't even in the actual park. I was out in the parking lot.
Right. I was gonna say you were just driving around the perimeter.
Yeah, exactly. Princesses
Just
had no time
longingly
for me.
He's
staring.
like, someday the princesses will make fun of me.
Yeah, I was a street rat looking for my Jasmine, and they had no time for me. You know what? I don't even want to give my pick.
I'm just picturing
point.
David and Agrabah
Do
looking up at the castle.
I
What's
honestly,
your
and
pick?
this is such a lame answer, but I really would like to see a Real Housewives of Philadelphia. As people at home know, most of us are in the Philadelphia area. Like, just imagine them like having lunch at Rittenhouse Square, or the nannies having lunch at Rittenhouse Square while they're, off at La Park or whatever, having their own lunch. Or
I love that.
yeah,
There
I think
was
that
a
would be
rumor
good
along.
one.
Yeah, a few years ago, there was a Real Housewives of the Main Line rumor happening. And for those who don't know, the Main Line is like a wealthy suburb just outside of Philadelphia proper, which I could see happening, but it never came to be. So maybe one day.
You'd have to pick one. This is really getting like very nitty gritty, but you'd have to pick someone from like Paoli and Ardmore and Berwyn, and then South Philly, and throw a South Philly Real Housewife in there to really mix things up.
I like it.
Oh, anyone
Me
watching
too.
from anywhere else has no idea what we're talking about. So,
No, call us, Andy.
They're like, what is Wawa?
Right?
yeah.
Paoli.
Go
No.
watch Mayor of Easttown and you'll be caught up.
Exactly. So you can check out all 10 Real Housewives series and so much more from Lisa, Luann, Erica, Vicky, Brandy, Candy, and your favorite cast members by saying Real Housewives Fan Club into your voice remote. And now, every limbo boy and girl all around the limbo world gonna do the limbo rock all around the limbo clock in a segment called Fall TV. Halloween season has come to an end, and while we can hear the faint sounds of jingle bells in the distance, the first couple weeks of November is the perfect time to catch up on all those fall TV shows you haven't quite got around to yet. So, which shows are we binging here in TV limbo? See, that makes sense.
I see.
Personally, I am looking forward to finally finishing Impeachment, American Crime Story on FX. Let's take a quick look at a clip.
As you no doubt heard, you get to work in the West Wing as of this morning. You're going to be working right beside the people who run the world. Please, be professional.
Are you sure you have enough evidence?
My calls with Monica. It all has to come out.
The press will destroy her.
You don't know the half of it.
Disney
This
sing
series
along.
is, of course, the third installment of the American crime franchise, which previously chronicled the murder trial of O.J. Simpson and the murder of Gianni Versace. This time around, the spotlight is on the Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky scandal, which subsequently led to Clinton's impeachment. The series, which boasts an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, stars Beanie Feldstein as Monica Lewinsky, Sarah Paulson as Linda Tripp, Edie Falco as Hillary Clinton, and Clive Owen as Bill Clinton. And this is one I've been wanting to get to because the previous two American Crime Stories were excellent. I just couldn't get around to it. So now TV limbo, gonna make it happen. Kayla, what are you looking forward to catching up on?
Well, impeachment is also on my list, but my pick is Wu-Tang Clan, an American saga, 1990s hip hop music show. Let's take a look.
What I'm trying to do is get all of us together to work in harmony so that our music can be complete.
You know how many rappers is out there?
Better than you?
All of us, we've been through our shit.
It could be me in a body bag right now.
Let's use it. Let's make some music.
Sure about the name, Wu-Tang? Yeah, that works.
So, as everybody knows, I'm a huge 90s fan. I love hip hop and I love drama series. So, this is right up my alley. I think we're a couple seasons in now and I still haven't seen it. I've heard amazing things about it. It's a fictional story loosely based around Wu-Tang Clan, 90s hip hop group. And I'm just looking forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be really good. Again, I love drama. Of course, there's a little bit of crime dabbled in there, so that's not too shabby either. Something I'm a fan of. So, yeah, this is definitely on my TV watch list. Gordon, what do you want to watch?
Well, part of the reason we're even talking about this is because David and I have a bit of a disagreement where we're both huge fans of the baking shows that tie into holidays. And Holiday Baking Championship started last night. It is November. Early November, too soon. David probably already watched it. It's too soon. So the thing was like, we got this window between Halloween and Thanksgiving. What are we going to watch? And I know I've talked about this on the show before, but I promise I'm finally going to get around to watching one of the best shows of all time, and it's called Friday Night Lights. Let's take a look.
So I can just fire pops in there and stuff because there's like an ocean between the safeties and the other.
You know why they play those safeties back so far? Because they're the fast damn safeties in Texas, that's why. They got 21 interceptions between them, you understand that?
They want you to throw there, man. It's a trap.
You sure you can hit them?
Yeah.
You're sure you can hit them?
I hit him fast. I hit him right in
Because
his
if you get
stride.
picked, you know what's going to happen? We're going to be watching these playoffs in our sofas in the damn houses. You understand that?
Coach, I got this. I can do it.
It's real risky.
Let me throw it.
Risky. Take a shot. take a shot.
Now, here is the ugly, unfortunate truth. There are two Gordons that reside here. One who watches what he eats and works out all the time and gets all of his housework done and really does his best and catches up on good TV shows. And then there's the real Gordon, the one that eats the cupcake and stays up too late and sleeps in too late and doesn't get around to mowing the lawn. And that's the Gordon that has not watched Friday Night Lights yet. I want to be that first Gordon. I want to watch Friday Night Lights. I want to watch The Wire. Those are two amazing shows that I can watch on demand easily. Just haven't gotten around to it. So my promise to you is I'm going to be better. I'm going to be a better person. And that starts with watching Friday Night Lights. That's my promise to you. I'm going to make it happen because all I hear is raves about it. Audrey, what do you intend to do with this window of time?
So mine is a new show on NBC called La Brea. I've seen it compared to Land of the Lost, which was like a childhood favorite of mine, and also Lost, which was, I know, controversial, but a young adult favorite of mine. So I should really be watching the show. And again, like all of you guys, I just haven't had a chance. So the time is now. So let's see a clip of La Brea.
And then they were just on.
I got you.
Where the hell are we?
This place doesn't seem real, does it?
Run. We stick together, we got a better shot of surviving.
So you guys just saw the clip. A massive sinkhole opens up in Los Angeles, separating a family between two worlds. The mother and son fall down the hole into like the past in dinosaur land, and the father and the daughter are above ground. So again, very similar to Land of the Lost, which I know David probably also loved as a kid.
It was a great theme song for Land of the Lost on Saturday mornings.
And how did that go?
I don't remember it, to be honest with you, but I remember that was really good. It went, Land of the Lost.
In the Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost.
Yes.
But I don't know any other words.
The Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost. Thank you.
That's it.
Kayla.
Gordon is not
who
impressed.
Brings up the theme song? Who brings up a theme song and doesn't know the words, Kayla? Come on. What are they doing to us?
I remembered it was good. That was all I could remember.
Mind melded.
I remembered it was good.
Fine.
Yeah.
If that's enough, if remembering it's good is enough, David.
Yeah.
So song aside, La Brea has been like a sleeper hit of fall TV, really. It's been, people have been talking about it. It's doing really well. So it's on NBC. It's also available on Peacock. So I need to step up my game and finally check it out. So that's what I will be watching.
And Gordon, you kind of living in the land of the lost. Gordon, I think you kind of mentioned this, but this is definitely like the second or third time on the show you've promised to catch up on Friday Night Lights and have not done it.
Yep. Maybe don't get
Gordon
the
number
words
one
out of this face.
Gordon number one is winning.
He is. And that dude's the worst. But I've had this conversation with my wife because we're finishing up our Halloween baking, and they're showing ads for the Christmas baking. We're like, too soon. And she's like, well, what do we do? And I'm like, I've been kind of promising all of the Xfinity footprint that I would watch Friday Night Lights. Maybe it's time we make it happen. So she's on board. We're both on board. It is going to happen. I've only lied about it twice before, but this time I mean it. This time I'm telling the truth.
Like Shia LaBeouf said, just do it. Just
do it.
Do it.
We're going to do
next time, David, next time Gordon's on a show, you need to like prepare a bunch of very specific questions and quiz him.
Have a quiz.
To test.
Have a quiz.
Test his knowledge.
Yep.
Get ready. Well, here in TV limbo, keep catching up on all the stuff that you might have missed this fall, including new hit series and returning favorites. Just say Fall TV into your voice remote. You can find the Fall TV entertainment guide. Go back, see what you missed, see what was new, see what returned, see specials. Just use remote. Say Fall TV, and get binging. And now I must stash you a question in a segment called Collections Corner. Movember is an annual charity event that encourages men to grow mustaches during the month of November to raise awareness and money for a variety of men's health issues, including mental health, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. Since 2003, the Movember Foundation has funded more than 1,250 men's health projects around the world. And in celebration of this amazing cause, I've actually compiled a collection of the 34 greatest beards, mustaches, and goatees on television, from Tom Selleck's noteworthy nose broom in Magnum PI to Ned Flanders' incredible crumb catcher on The Simpsons. Just say Movember TV into your remote to browse all of this fabulous facial hair. Click each photo to reveal the character behind the beard, and also check out videos from the Movember Foundation to learn more about this annual event. But first, before you go and do that, I've put together a little game to see if our editors can identify some of TV's most spectacular soup strainers. And for our live viewers at home, you can play along using your Xfinity voice remote. So grab that here, use the direction pad to make your selection. And let's just jump, no lifelines. It's multiple choice, so it's a little easy. But let's just jump right into it with our first mystery beard. Is this Will Forte, Ethan Hawke, or David Letterman? Discuss.
I think that's my initial instinct as well, because Letterman's beard was huge, and yeah, Will Forte is the first thing that popped into my head once you started naming names.
Yeah, Letterman's was also like more white. This is a little like dingier, if you will.
What are you thinking, Kayla?
I'm thinking the same, Forte. But something wants me to say Ethan, but I don't think it's him.
Ethan Hawke had Audrey, you interviewed Ethan for his series, and he had a pretty gross looking beard.
He did. I don't think it's him. I don't think that's his teeth.
Good Lord,
situation.
bird beard. Yeah.
Yeah.
His lips.
I'm going Forte.
Well, the fans are voting.
What are the fans saying?
Right now? Will Forte is in the lead with 70%, followed by David Letterman and then by Ethan Hawke. And so the answer is, drumroll, it is Will Forte from the series Sweet Tooth on Netflix, which a bunch of us are a really big fan of. If you have not seen it, definitely check it out. Beard number 2, let's pull that up here. Is it Don Cheadle, Giancarlo Esposito, or Lenny James? You don't realize how gross. You don't know how how gross beards are until you see them really up close. Honestly, it makes me feel like I should. Oh, Gordon, you've got it too.
I tried to get David and I to shave down to mustaches for this segment, but he was worried we'd look like 80s detectives.
That would be such a dream.
The worst.
Best case scenario is 80s detectives. I'm leaning Cheadle on this.
I think this is Don. I was going to say, I think this is Don. Like, I know him. Like, that's Don.
Like, his nostrils look like Don Cheadle nostrils?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like his face. Like, because we're getting a nice angle here. We can see a little bit of the ear, you know. See, like,
I don't know.
That looks like Don Cheadle's ear, definitely.
I was just going to say, if you can identify a star by his ear, I have other questions for you, Kayla.
That's for December.
Oh no!
December, anyone?
Yes,
December.
That's so good. Oh wait, Lenny James, and who was the third option?
Giancarlo
Lenny
Esposito.
James. Okay.
I think it's Don.
Right
what
now,
are the fans saying?
Cheadle's in the lead with 48%. Lenny James is second with 40%, and Giancarlo Esposito is in third place.
No, it's not Giancarlo.
Lenny James.
I know my
for
Giancarlo.
Me.
The answer for this is Lenny James from Fear the Walking Dead.
What? Oh, man. I thought that was Don for sure.
Look how I'm like ready to argue when it's clearly him.
I know, right?
I'm like, no, that's Don.
That's
clearly Lenny James. But I'm
I definitely thought it was Don. Man, that ear messed me up.
Audrey's 2 for 2.
So beard number 3 is not actually a beard, it is a mustache. And is it David Gassie, Jonathan Van Ness, or Mike Coulter?
Oh,
Not JVN.
Wow, that is a
I don't
gorgeous
think that's
mustache.
Mike. I don't think it's Mike Coulter. First of all, he never shaves that beard. Well, I've never seen him without a beard, so maybe I don't know.
Could have been for a
See,
movie
mustache
role.
aside,
It
your
could
great
it could
lips,
have been.
too.
That is majestic.
David Gassie, Jonathan Van Ness, or Mike Coulter.
So it's 1 or 3. What do we think, guys?
I don't think
Right
it's
now,
Mike.
1 and 3 are in the lead with David
Really?
Gassie, 79%. Oh, we have 2 votes for Jonathan Van Ness.
It's
Come on,
not
guys.
JVN.
Yeah,
Get out of there.
Maybe it. I don't know. This is hard. This is really hard. See, if this were like hair extensions on women, I'd probably know.
December hair.
We can make that happen.
December
hair.
Right? I'm just dealing gold. I'm just
Amazing.
just
You
gold.
really are on fire.
And you guys should just be
Come on.
grabbing it out of the air and running with it.
All right.
The
Let's
answer for
pick,
this
guys.
one. Oh, you want to make your final
No.
guesses?
I wanted them to pick, so I'm not wrong. Go. Someone say something.
I'm happy to go. Oh, look at that.
It wasn't Mike, was it?
There
oh,
it
no,
is.
It's not Mike. Oh, thank goodness.
It's David
No, okay.
Gassie from Carnival Row. Audrey, didn't you watch
Majestic.
Carnival Row?
I did. That
Yeah.
seems like it was so long ago, though. Like
It
I kind
was,
of forgot
but
about
it's
it
coming back
altogether.
it's coming back for a new season on Prime Video.
Yeah,
Eventually.
I like it. Eventually.
Yeah, he was a character called the Puck, is what they called him, and half man, half goat, I guess. Speaking of which, watch the movie Lamb if you can. Side note, is so disturbing. Do it. It might be too much for you, Kayla. As
Yeah,
I'll make
Lamb,
it.
watch this. It's disturbing. Watch it.
That was the
really
worst
disturbing.
sales pitch I've ever heard. Watch it. You're going to hate it.
Wait, isn't it in
You'll know it.
Iceland?
It is, and it is, and it was like I think co-written by the same dude who did Hereditary and Midsummer, and it's got Noomi Rapace from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Dragon Tattoo.
It's wild.
I watched the
All right.
trailer, which go on.
Yeah, check it out. Beard number 4 or mustache number 4, is it A, Nick Offerman, B, David Harbour, or C, William H. Macy?
For a second, I was like, is it Will Forte again?
He does have a Will Forte mouth.
Yeah.
He seems a little thinned out for Harbor, right?
Wait, tell me 1 and 3
And I
again.
Nick Offerman, David Harbour,
Yeah.
or William H. Macy?
Not William H. Macy.
He did have a pretty gnarly mustache, though, in Shameless.
I don't think that's his nose, though. That's really what I'm zoning in on is the nose situation.
The fans are
I wish I had an
pretty
ear to look at.
unanimously claiming it's Harbour, followed close, not too closely by Nick Offerman. 60% for Harbour, 30% for Offerman.
Yeah, I think it's Harbor.
But
Sorry.
But wouldn't
Florida.
Offerman be more clean shaven elsewhere if it was like Ron Swanson?
Who knows?
I'm going
Harbor.
So I guess I'm leaning Harbor.
Harbor.
Well, the people have voted and you have voted, and the answer is indeed David Harbour from Stranger Things. And I think that is season 2 when, as you say, Gordon, he did thin out a little bit for his role in Hellboy.
Okay.
So you weren't totally right.
I know my
there.
Harbor.
Yeah.
I know my Harbor.
And finally, one more for you. Our 5th beard. Is it A, Donald Glover, B, Daveed Diggs, or C, Idris Elba?
My initial instinct is Glover.
Me too.
I'm saying
I was like,
Daveed
that's not
Diggs.
Idris.
Daveed
That's
Diggs.
not
But is there
Idris.
snow in the beard?
Is there
Oh, wait,
Throw us off and
Snowpiercer
make
in
us
the
think
beard?
Snowpiercer? Yeah.
Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer.
Is that to make us think it thinks Snowpiercer, which is that's a
I am
Daveed
leaning
Diggs.
towards David.
Maybe he was
Oh.
just eating cookies.
Donald Glover does love cookies. That's a good point. He's always talking
That's
about
true, too.
how much he loves cookies.
Oh, that's
Noted
hard.
cookie enthusiast Donald
Noted
Glover.
cookie enthusiast. Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. I'm
Glover
going Team Donald
is in
and
the
David.
lead.
I mean,
No,
David.
they're
Donald
wrong.
Glover's in the
Glover.
lead.
They're wrong.
50%
It's definitely
for
Glover.
Daveed
Glover.
Diggs.
Daveed Diggs is making a
Childish
comeback.
Gambirdo.
Oh my God, Gordon.
Beardo.
Let's wrap
a
this
long
game up,
week.
David.
It's been a long week.
Donald,
The
Donald. I'm going with Donald.
answer is
You gotta let me have some of
indeed
these.
Daveed Diggs from Snowpiercer
Ah!
on TNT.
It was the snow. The snow should have tipped us all off.
Oh, see,
It
I didn't know
should
if it was
have.
snow. I mean, I don't know. Could like powdered sugar or something like from baking show.
Noted,
Eating too many
noted
donuts.
funnel cake enthusiast. All right. Well, that was tons of fun. You mostly got all of them. For more on
Mostly.
Movember, you mostly got all of them. For Mo, Jesus. For Mo on more.
For more on
For-
Movember.
Boom.
on Movember.
Good job, Aubrey.
For more on Movember, visit Movember.com or check out the Movember TV collection by saying Movember TV into your voice remote. Next, grab
We're
a drink.
professionals. This is our job. Like, this is what we do for a living.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this
Next
job
up.
paid for the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, never mind. We're just going to go off on a tangent now. Next, grab a drink, some popcorn, a hacker, a safecracker, a getaway driver, an inside man, some muscle, and a con man to stab you in the back at the very last moment. It's time for Hangouts. Last Friday, Zack Snyder and Netflix dropped the brand new movie Army of Thieves, which is a prequel to the Army of Dead movie, which premiered over the summer. Our very own Gordon sat down with Snyder as well as the film's director and star, Matthias Schweighöfer. When you said I pronounced it well the other time, now it just got in my head, and I was like, I really have to do it again.
Schweighöfer.
Matthias Schweighöfer to talk
There you
about the genre-bending flick. Gordon, please tell us more about it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it was fantastic to get to talk to Matthias and Zach about Netflix voice command Army of Thieves. And before we talk about it, let's take a quick look.
This window of opportunity isn't just our only chance, it's yours.
My only chance for what?
A life less ordinary.
We've assembled from various sources the locations of the 3 safes. The Rheingold, the Valkyrie, the Siegfried. All of them are under the ownership of infamous billionaire Balai Tanaka. Any questions?
No. Yes, many. Hundreds.
I got to tell you, I don't know how you did it, but you managed to make a safe-cracking movie so sexy. I needed a cold shower after I was done watching it. Maybe that's an overshare, but you got to tell me, what's the secret to making what's kind of a slow-moving process so exhilarating?
Sorry. You know, this safe comes with a shower. If you want to crack that safe, you need that shower to buy that shower and buy 2 showers, and you will receive 3 safes. So this is well, that's a compliment.
All right, this is not the same shirt as I wore during the interview. It's just similar. I don't wear plaid all day, every day. And I really hope that if you watch that clip, you don't think I was making a joke about how sexy this movie is. And it's about safe cracking, but it's so beautiful that they take this kind of mundane process and make it so interesting. That's the kind of the funny thing about this movie is Army of Thieves is the prequel to Army of the Dead, which is a straight up zombie movie. But this, and I think there's been some controversy surrounding this, is not a zombie movie. There are zombies, but they appear. It's almost like the precursor to the zombie movie. So any zombies occur in Las Vegas while this movie takes place elsewhere, or zombies in a dream sequence. It's really not a zombie movie. It's really a heist movie, in the same vein as like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13, Ocean's 8. And I think they really did a fantastic job with it. But it is an example of a movie zigging when you expect it to zag, or zagging when you expect it to zig, one or the other. So it really was kind of surprised going into it. And if you want more of that interview, and it's amazing, check out, it'll be on YouTube later this week, if I do say so myself. But that got us kind of talking about movies that zig when we expect them to zag. And my personal one that I interviewed earlier this year, Bob Odenkirk, around his movie Nobody, which was really interesting because when you see the trailers, it looks like, haha, a funny guy becomes an action star by accident, and it is not that at all. Just to spoil the first couple minutes of it, a man's house is broken into, and he has the opportunity to get the jump on the thieves and decides not to, which is actually the smart thing to do. If anybody ever breaks into your house, like don't try to grab their gun. And he kind of gets, people are sympathetic, but at the same time, they're like, but if I was there, boy, I would have done something. And you kind of feel bad for this person. And I could completely relate to it. My home was robbed 10 years ago. And you kind of have this mental block where you're like, thank goodness I wasn't there. But at the same time, ooh, I wish I was there. It's a really a conflicting thought process to have for something, so traumatic that happens to somebody. So as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, oh, this is going to hit a little too close to home with these kind of themes. But then it takes a hard right from the direction you think it's going, and it is amazing. This is a great movie. This is a great old school action film, honestly. Like, so if you're not like, nowadays action movies aren't that gory, like go back and watch Die Hard, the original Die Hard. You'll be surprised at how gory it is, and this movie is in that vein. So if that's not for you, maybe don't check it out, but talk about a movie that you think is doing one thing and then does something completely different. So again, my pick is Nobody. Audrey, what did you have? What was your zigzag pick?
So mine is a horror film that came out this year called Malignant, and we watched it around Halloween time for all the spooky vibes. It has like the most vague description of all time, for probably a good reason, because they don't want to spoil the twist. But it's like, paralyzed by fear from shocking visions, a woman's torment worsens as she discovers her dreams are terrifying realities. So like, that really doesn't tell you anything. Basically, we know this chick had a troubled past. We're not exactly sure what went down, but she starts acting out. We then come to realize she doesn't actually have control over her body. Somebody else does. And then there's someone named Gabriel. Who is Gabriel? And that's where it really goes off the rails. And I won't spoil it for anyone. But if you're into horror movies, if you're into some bizarre twists, this is probably for you. So yeah, Malignant on HBO Max is my pick for a zigzag movie. But yeah, watch it. David, did you watch it? You were nodding along. No?
No, I was just nodding in enjoyment of what you were saying.
Good.
We all enjoyed it.
Yeah. Everyone should watch it, except Kayla, because she will not like it. But Kayla, you're up next. What is your
you can
pick?
spoil it. You can spoil it for me because I'm not seeing it anyway.
I'll tell you on the side.
Okay. So my zigzag movie is Tenet. Guys, came out last year. And talk about trippy. I honestly was lost this entire, I don't even know what was going on. The main guy protagonist, he has to prevent World War III from happening. So he has to travel back in time and forward in time, trying to stop this huge disaster. And it's just, there are a lot of parts in the movie where it's just backwards. Like it looks like it's rewinding, and it's just a lot. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but I just did not know. I literally had to pause the movie. I went to bed and came back the next day. I was like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe I'm just tired. But I came back the next day and I was still like, what's going on? So I thought it was going to be like a straight shooting movie. And it definitely was not. A lot of people I talked to have watched it twice just to wrap their minds around it.
I've heard, Kayla, like from so many people who saw it that they just didn't understand what was going on. So it wasn't just you; it was a lot of people.
Okay. I was like, let me just sleep on it. I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, I appreciate that you went to bed and still gave it a shot. I would have been like, nah, done. So dedicated.
I was like, I need to see how it ends. I already committed. It was 1 hour. I think it's like a little over 2 hours. So it's a bit of a ride for sure.
Yeah. So I have a
Wrap it up.
movie that I've been telling people about for a few years now, and it's nothing. No one's ever heard of it. It's called Suntan. I saw this movie a couple years ago. Excuse me, at the Philadelphia Film Festival. I don't know why I chose it. It's a Greek language film, which is something you rarely get to see in the US outside of your finer art house establishments. Excuse me. I'm getting choked up just thinking about this.
No, I get
I
it.
got
It's
it.
very emotional.
The movie starts out innocently enough. A 40-something-year-old doctor named Costas arrives on a small resort island to run the local clinic. The island is boring during the off-season, and we see him sadly trudging through the holiday season, waiting for anything of interest to happen. Finally, summer rolls around, and the island is full of young people on holiday. In fact, Costas meets a young woman named Anna and her friends who invite him to the beach and include him in some of their day of sun-soaked debauchery. And then in the week that follows, Costas begins to skirt his responsibilities at the clinic while becoming more and more infatuated with Anna. But when Anna eventually rejects his advances, Suntan quickly turns into a full-blown horror movie. And it is so shocking, the turn that this takes, because it does a really great job of establishing Costas as this like sad, down on his luck, balding, overweight loser. And when he finds this group of college students who like take him in after months of loneliness, you feel legitimately happy for him. You're like, oh, it's so sweet. Like he's so happy. But it's not a feel-good movie. It's horrifying. And where the movie started is not where it ends up. And if you're uncomfortable at all with sex, nudity, violence, or any combination of that, do not watch this movie. I feel like we're doing a lot of this movie is great, don't watch it. But
yeah, what not to
if you're
watch.
looking for
Meanwhile, I'm like, watch this movie.
If you are looking for something very, very different, Suntan is free on Tubi. So say Tubi into your voice remote, or go to say Suntan, you can play it on Tubi. It is so unexpected and such a wild ride. I mean, I remember sitting there like my mouth open, like I can't believe this is the turn this is taking. So
Did you know it was horror before you went into it?
No, because it's described as like down on his luck, doctor meets young people on Resort Island. And like I said, like,
wow.
I mean, who hears like Greek language drama and is like, I gotta get in on that. Like, I don't know why I watched it, but I did.
You're glad you did.
Wild. Yeah. So that's that. And to watch Army of Thieves now on Netflix, say Army of Thieves into your voice remote and check out Gordon's full interview with Zack Snyder and Matthias Schweighöfer by saying what to watch into your remote later this week. It will be up. And before we go, we are here, as always, to help you curate your TV watch list with Plan Ahead. November is Native American Heritage Month, and Kayla is going to kick off this week's Plan Ahead by telling us about a special collection celebrating Native American stars and entertainment. Kayla, what do you have for us?
Yes, I'm so excited about this collection. It's our biggest collection yet, although right now you're just seeing the first few rows of it, but it's massive. Just yesterday, we launched this Native American Heritage Month collection, and it really just celebrates Indigenous culture and heritage. You're guaranteed to find something you love. There's dramas, comedies, documentaries, TV shows, podcasts, web videos, and more, just to learn more about the culture and to celebrate that. And there are also a bunch of movies that you can watch for free right at the top so you don't miss it. All you have to do is say Native American Heritage Month into your voice remote.
Perfect. I saw Wind Talker in there and I was like, oh, I loved that movie when it came out. I have to give that another look, but it was really a really interesting collection. I didn't realize there was that there were so many movies and TV shows like celebrating Native American culture. So
there are
pretty
cool.
I
learned a lot putting that together.
Yeah. Well, it's also a big week for TV premieres, including an 80s sitcom reboot, the resolution of a Montana cliffhanger, the return of the Warner Brothers and their sister Dot, and the she said the second coming of everyone's favorite blood splatter expert / murderer. And Gordon is going to take it away because I can't talk, apparently. Take it away, Gordon.
Thanks, David. All right, we kick things off on Thursday night on HBO Max with the reboot of the 80s hit Head of the Class. Now, I watched this one when I was a kid, which was a million years ago. In it, the smart kids in school get a teacher who makes them think more about life than about grades. They learn and they laugh. Good times. I enjoyed this one when I was younger. Hopefully this one's just as good or better. Also on Thursday is the premiere of Siwa's Dance Pop Revolution on Peacock. In this show, JoJo and her mom Jesselyn try to create the next big pop band sensation. They're calling it Zomgpo. Oh gosh, I'm old. Okay, XOMG space PO. Anywho, it's a riot. Check it out. On Friday, it's the return of the Animaniacs on Hulu, something else from my distant youth. It's time for Animaniacs. They have pay or play contracts. There's zany to the max, and there's baloney in their slacks. Anywho, this show is a total winner. I loved this when I was a kid, and it's still funny as an adult. I can't wait to see what the Warner Brothers and sister are up to. From there, this is a big one right now. Yellowstone back on Paramount, 8 p.m. Eastern for its 4th season. If you want to get into it now, you've got a bit of time to catch up before this Sunday. On that same night, Dexter Morgan, the Bay Harbor Butcher, is back on Showtime with Dexter New Blood. Now that's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. And now this used to be one of my favorites. I used to love this show, but it kind of went out with a bleh, like with a bleh. So hopefully this continuation of the story will help it go out on a high note, a high, bloody note. And finally, get your ice malt ready because it's time for Holiday Wars on the Food Network. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Teams of bakers will battle it out to see who can create the most festive holiday display. Now, some of you, like me, might think it's a little early for this, a little early for holiday programming, but that's what DVRs are for. I'm going to start recording, then when Black Friday rolls around, I'll have a nice little binge. David, on the other hand, I know you're already ready to go on this one, so, to each their own. That's enough for me, though. David, back to you, buddy.
Thank you, Gordon. And yes, I will be starting Holiday Wars this week, of course. Because, Mariah Carey says it's time for Christmas. So let's do it. And that will do it for this week's show. Huge thanks to Army of Thieves star. Why did I make myself say this 4 times in this episode? Matthias Schweghofer for joining us
pretty
today.
well. You're like 3 for 4.
And even bigger thanks to my fellow Xfinity editors, Audrey, Kayla, and Gordon. If you want to check out the TV shows and movies we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, just say what to watch into your voice remote, or tune in here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. My name is David. Thank you for watching us on What to Watch Live.